stairs here. Look at that super smooth tarmac going straight up, zigzagging up the climb there. All riders all out the road. Look at this rim brake advantage. Now the race starts. Look at those rim calipers.
I ran into one of those.
You're one of those
traffic.
people.
Yeah, I was definitely one of those people. I'm embarrassed to admit it.
I hate any little noise. I'm like, what the fuck's that noise? Like, it just bugs me. Right? Just any noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the one thing that bothers me, although I love riding disc brakes now, is like every once in a while I get that little rubbing noise. Were you riding disc before?
No, I was not.
Okay, let's have a look here. We are at a race. Let's put it on the hat. Let's put my race hat and let's mute the audio. So this is a race called Volta La Comunica, otherwise known as Sierra. I'm basically on Cycling News as well, and this is the Valencia Tour of Valencia. So this is the deal. This is a breakaway up the road. So if you don't know how pro cycling works, basically they let a breakaway go with some sort of unknown riders, give their sponsors some TV coverage, etc., and then the real race starts probably last 50k to go. All right, so the breakaway tries its luck. Sometimes it gets away. Most of the time it doesn't, especially if it's an important race. But you just never know. So it's a gamble. So it's a fantastic way for the unknown riders to get a bit of coverage time. This now looks like they're chasing now though. Look at that. This big string riders all strung out as big batch there. This rider here looks like he's off the back. Disc brakes rubbing off the back here. So this is going up the hill. This is where every second counts. This is where it would really suck to have disc brakes, because you got the rubbings like tink 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 tink. It's Greg Van Avermaet on the gold giant TCR. Look at all that chunk. Look at that chunk in the front of the bike. The discs, the mountain bike brakes. If anyone doesn't need good brakes, better brakes, stronger brakes, it is Greg Van Avermaet. So he would be getting paid a hefty bonus to ride that giant TCR disc. Hefty bonus. Maybe a couple of €1,000 per race. Because look at that extra chunk on the front of the bike there. And this is the Ineos Team Sky. Some people got a bit triggered when I called them Team Sky. It's the same team, guys. Some people out there got a bit triggered. It's the same team bus. It's the same core riders. It's the same bikes. It's the same type of jersey, different colour. The red swapped for blue. Murdoch changed for Sir Ratcliffe. And now we are at the front of the race here, the head of the race, and they're on the downhill. So no one's touching the brakes. If you touch the brakes at this point, you lose 20 positions. You don't want to touch your brakes. Off the brakes. Again, in the breakaway, off the brakes. So this whole thing of disc brakes are better for pro cyclists is absolute nonsense. And now we are down to 3 riders, 3 abreast, swapping over to the front there, all on discs here. This is the breakaway. And then Gregor Van Avermaet's up there. He's going to go say goodbye. He's going to go for it. But again, they're all these riders have the disc brake disadvantage right now, so they're all in the same boat. They've all got the rotors like ting. If you listen carefully, you hear it ting, ting, ting. Bit of rub on there because the heat expansion looks like a warm race. Everyone's wearing summer clothing, and it looks pretty warm out there. There's a bit of sweat glistening off the arms. Now here comes the race. So the breakaway is being caught, and look on the front right now. We have Ineos UAE. We have the rim brake conversation. Conservation officers of UAE, of Team Sky. Basically, Jim Ratcliffe, who owns Team Sky, Team Ineos, has set up a rim brake conservation museum in Bristol, and he's looking after the rim brakes. So here we go. We've got this Tadej Podcar. Sorry, I forgot his name there. Bit of a slip of the mental capacity. And look at what a beautiful. Look, that's a great shot, isn't it? That was like so. Man, I'm getting a bit of movement downstairs here. Look at that. Super smooth tarmac going straight up, zigzagging up the climb there. All riders all out the road. Look at this rim brake advantage. Now the race starts. Look at those rim calipers. Those sexy Campag record rim calipers. No rub in there at all. Open them right up. Astana rider off the front. He is off the front. Oh no, he's off the back. Ting, ting, ting. That mass on the bike. The extra half a kilo of dead weight on the bike there. It must be very frustrating. Look at this. Just in another world. Got a bike from the past. This is Back to the Future. Look at that win. Clean set of heels, the rim brake rider. No one's even coming close. Who is that? It's a Marita. That's like, looks like Walt Poles. Walt Poles, the super climber, getting dropped. And look at that. Oh, man. That's crazy. That gap right there, that's disc brakes. That's dead weight. That's definitely half a kilo dead weight. Oh, man. That's the race lost. Walt Poles would have won this had he been on a Marita Sculptura super light. Look at that. Caught on the line. Can't even pedal on the limit. Look at the disc brake riders. Did you see that? Did you see that? All the disc brake riders. So let's do a rewind. All the disc brake riders. Look at that. Over the line, keeps riding, hand in the air, not even breathing. Look at that. And look at Walt Poles stopped on the line. The Team Skyride, he keeps going. Jack Haig holding on for support. You know what I mean? That's amazing. So absolute effort given. The rotors definitely felt like they were rubbing. Maybe the H seals in the master cylinder were expanding too much of the heat. And it looks like a steep climb. Look at that. Finishing on the steep bit. So discs got smoked. Pun intended by the rim brakes. Look at that. So let's just pause this. We have Tadej Pogacar, if I pronounced that correct. He is from, looks like New Zealand. And then we have Walt Poles from Netherlands, Tao Hart from England. So we have rim, disc, rim. You know, look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. That would be incredibly frustrating. 6 seconds. That's definitely a disc brake disadvantage from the Kiwi Tadej Pogacar. 4 hours 22. Lost by 6 seconds. Now let's fly over to Australia. I'll pause it and we'll go straight to Australia to watch the vegan. Apparently he's a vegan. Allegedly he's a vegan hippie as well. Sebwick. I'll get his name right. Let's have a look. All right, let's go 2 down under. Oh no, sorry. Let's go 2. Don't drink. Sports drink and commentate at the same time, guys. Let's go straight to the Sun Tour, which was after 2 down under. All right, so we're over at GCN Racing. And this is heavily pixelated for some reason. Heavily pixelated, I think maybe something with the smoke in a lot of bushfires going on there. So maybe that's the deal. Let's sort of click through here. And this is a hilly stage. There we go. So it's going up. Looks like Mount Buller. This looks like Mount Buller. This is Mansfield. Good cross-country mountain bike race circuits back in the day. Mansfield brings back the memories for a lot of Aussie mountain bikers. We're going to go up Mount Buller, switch back up the switchback, and it's a decent climb. Look at that. All right, let's go. Let's get it razzed up. And here we have the early breakaway for the day. We have a mix of riders there, and let's click back. Let's get to the heart of the racing. Again, same format. The early breakaway gets a chance for a bit of media coverage, and goes from there. Right? So this is how bike racing goes. And now this is the Sunweb guys in the front riding for their GC rider. I'm pretty sure it's Jai Hindley. And let's have a look here. We've got that. What's that fluoro yellow bike? So this is really pixelated. I'm not sure what's going on. Look at that disc brake right at the back here. Just getting, those bikes are so heavy. Why would you, of all the Cannondales you could ride, why would you ride the heaviest up Mount Buller? I mean, obviously they probably don't have a choice. They've got to ride what they've given. Fair enough. Ride what you provided. I understand. Look at that big train here. So great place to be. Probably in the top 7 riders there. And we've got a breakaway the last bit. Disc brake bike, another disc brake bike here. So these 2 riders here, look at them. They're just so relaxed. And that looks like Simon Yates from the Orica Green Edge team. And this is this is basically, obviously they're jumping to the end here. So he's going for that breakaway. I think it's James Piccolo. And here we have look at it, he's turning around. He's turning his head around. And I think here we go, Sebwick. Look at that. That's a gutsy move, isn't it? So this is the pack you want to be in. This look at disc brake riders, just like, see you later, can't keep up. Disc brake rider, can't keep up. That's Simon Yates. Look at these guys riding off. Look at that. Look, they're riding off. Look at that. Rim brakes. Just, oh my God. Look at this. Looking back even. And there's a disc brake on the right. Look at that. Disc brake on the right. And these 2 guys, these vegan riders, he almost closed him into the koala territory there. Bit of argy-bargy. And, wow. Look at that. It's just, these guys are out of sight. Look at the guys behind, not even in the lens shot. Look at that. Look at that. His head's still up. Lucid enough to stop the Brighton. Wow. Rim brakes for the win. Just aggressive riding there. So let's pause. Let's get the names right, Harley. Sebastian Berwick. Not even on one of the teams. The teams. That's pretty amazing. So that's a World Tour team there. Jai Hindley and Sebastian Berwick, a vegan hippie from Brisbane, allegedly. Jay Vine and Jesse. So a lot of riders. Neil Nielsen. So he's a good rider. EF. So there's some World Tour riders here. The Oracle Green Edge. Out the Damon House, and he ain't no slouch up no climb. So Nicholas Schultz. So you got some amazing talent there to be just dropping these guys in the last bit as well. So these guys, Hindley and Berwick, let's just rewind it a little bit. They could have gone up the climb a lot faster because look at how explosive they were in the last bit. Let's have a rewind there. Look at that. Just this is insane. Look at this. These guys have animated the race in the last bit. All these guys are just pack fill. This is all just pack fill. And I don't say that like to be a sledging or something. On this day, in this moment, everyone here is utter pack fill. And you have this guy here, Berwick. I always forget his name. Vegan. Look at this. This is hilarious. Look, there's 3 riders here. I'm not sure the guy in the blue is. Look at that. And they just look at the gap they just put into Simon Yates. Right? He's got number 1. Look at this is crazy stuff. Look at that gap. EF Russell Powers, Nielsen. You know what I mean? Look at that. Who was the guy they dropped? What bike was he on? Did he have disc brakes that were rubbing? We can't really see. Who's that rider? Is that rim or disc? Because this guy's got discs. He's looking down at his rubbing rotors in the front. He's like, what's going on? Well, let's get forensic here. Let's flick back. It's got pixelated images here. We can't see what bike that rider was on who made the move but then just blew up. Was his bike the half kilo? This guy here, number 57. Oh, it's hard to tell if it's rim or disc, isn't it? It's hard to say. But he had to bridge a big gap there, so he probably left a little bit too late. And then he's left a little bit too late. We can't confirm. I'll confirm with the Mount Buller police officer later on if it was a rim or disc brake bike, but we do confirm here the disc brakes rubbing. And look at these guys. Look at them. Just look at that gap. That's impressive stuff. Look at these Chinese carbon bikes they're on. I wonder what factory they use in China. That's Cervelo, and that's another brand. It's called Icarus or Spartacus or something, or Paragon, or it's one of the Chinese brands. They're all Chinese these days. That's why I laugh when people pay $5,000 for a Cervelo frame or a S-Works frame when it's just coming out of China. But yeah, amazing ride by these 2 guys. That will be noted. Heavily noted. And look at him. Just look. Here's the physiology here. Look. Let's have a look at shoulders. So this guy here in yellow, I would say he's more fatigued than this guy here in white. All right. Let's just by his shoulders. He's like, oh, done. And this guy here he's got more in the tank. He's stopping his Brighton. So look at that. He's stopping his Brighton. Let's have a look at the physiology here. So he's not even across the line, and his hand's already moving over towards. Look at that. So he's not fully committed. So this guy has the most talent, I'd say, because he's got no teammates. He's just hanging on there, and he's got enough non-focus to stop his watch. Like, this is a training ride for him mentality-wise, and this guy's understanding he has to win at all costs. So that's an interesting one. So my tip for this rider here, the vegan, would be to more kamikaze, more aggression, and don't worry about your Brighton or your Garmin. It doesn't matter about that. You can do that later on. So he's not touching at all. All that matters is the yellow. All right, it doesn't matter if you touch your Brighton, and he still hasn't touched his unit. Does he even have a header unit on? He does. So that's an amazing ride by both those 2 young individuals. Jai Hindley, Sebastian Berwick, representing the rim brake, giving rim brake rights to the podium. So look how fresh his face looks. He's about to drink it. Does he drink it? He does. He's a wino. And worst thing for recovery though. But this is the end of the race pretty much. So he's got it done and dusted. He probably just has a sip for the heck of it. But beautiful day there. Thanks to GCN Racing providing that. And nice switchbacks. Looks great. That's the example there. Let's just go back just one more time. That was impressive. I want to see that rim brake authority there. Look at the gaps here. Let's see it. Let's see these guys blow it apart one more time, shall we? All right. So this is the breakaway. So they've let him go. They've let Yates go, and they let him go up the road, get a big gap. So that's pretty amazing. Let the gap go. There's a big gap to break. So they're just setting up. They may be doing 250 watts, 200 watts, and they're like, all right, let's go. And this little guy here, in the white helmet, is like, oh, I'm fucking launching this. And look at that. Just boom. Just threw a grenade over his shoulder, blew up the pack. He basically threw a vegan donut at him and just blew the pack up. Maybe let one rip. Bit of baked beans. And the people just, gassed out. Just kidding. But that's impressive attack, isn't it? That's impressive. Animation. And the Jai Hindley here in the yellow just did whatever it took. Almost pushed him over the spectator. That would have been nasty, wouldn't it? But he always had a clear road there. And he went for the second dig. But this guy here has got a bit more kamikaze. Fantastic ride, but we can definitely squeeze some more watts there out of it. You basically got to pretend someone's coming with you, out you with them, gang of machete wielding bandits or whatever. You really got to just go full on. This guy's got I'd say he's got the best physiology in the bunch, and this guy here probably got the most pressure to get the win because he's in the yellow. All right, so this guy's physiology's there. The pressure's not really on him. He's a sort of the unknown rider, perhaps. And this guy here, he's got the contract. He's got the Euros saying, hey, mate, we pay you. Where's the result? So he's got the pressure. This guy's got the physiology. So you want to get his pressure into his physiology, and then this guy will be winning the race by 30 seconds. That's the highlights. That's my comments and criticisms. We'll see you on the road, and we'll pick some earwax together next time.
Ran into one of those.
You were one of those
traffic.
people.
Yeah, I was definitely one of those people. I'm embarrassed to admit it.
I hate any little noise. I'm like, what the fuck's that noise? Like it just bugs me. Right? Just any noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the one thing that bothers me, although I love riding disc brakes now, is like every once in a while I get that little rubbing noise. Were you riding disc before?
No, I was not.
Okay.